Zone with your hosts, Bird Gang representative Casual E and Sean McConnell from Casual Sports, me, Jay Adams, and NFL vet Ed Smith from Easy Sports Talk. Buckle up for 60 minutes of NFL football previews and pick'ems. Hold tight as we preview this week's games with in-depth analysis and opinion and a flavor all our own. Bragging rights are on the line with the Neutral Zone Pick'em trophy up for grabs. It's the Neutral Zone. Lace them up.
It is the Neutral Zone. It is KSRNAZ.com. I am your host, one of your hosts anyway, Javon J. Love Adams, and as always, joined with me is my esteemed panel of partners, the one and only Casual E. Earl Burnett. He is the founder. He is the CEO. He's editor in chief. He's that dude that just walks around talking with a deep voice. I think he goes into Walmart or in wherever the safe way and just talks in a deep voice and has people following him like the Pied Piper. Then we also got Sean McConnell, and then we're missing our brother in arms. He is the one and only Ed Easy Smith. This time of year, he is in high demand. It's funny because they'll say I'm like that girl in the when we had those 7th and 8th grade dances back in the day, back when people used to be outside. And hey, so you want to dance with her? Nah, I ain't dance with her. Well, I dance with that one over there. So I'm there. If they don't choose me to try to chop it up, they choose Ed Smith, and I get that because I'll be controversial. Speaking of controversial, if y'all watching me, I got this dashiki on.
Yeah.
Right, shout out for my uncle. My uncle years ago, a couple of decades ago, made this for me, and I just never wear it. And so, when is there really an opportunity to wear a dashiki? I ain't gonna wear it when I'm like going to do a hip hop show or going to, I don't know, get a haircut or go get myself
you ain't got no bean pies behind you or anything, do you?
Hey, I'm gonna break out the hat before the show is over.
You could wear it on a run.
See what I'm talking about.
You could wear it in a race. You could just be that dude, right? I mean,
I could be that dude.
Yeah.
So this is our version of the football pick'em show. We do this every Thursday at this time. We like to keep it running total to see kind of how our picks go, and I'll be the one to say that I know that this week I happen to take a peek because I would say I'm doing well because I'm the Jerry Jones of this right here. And my youngest son, Elijah, he is the one that is I just kind of handed over everything to him and said, man, just don't mess it up. You can't do worse than your dad. So you're doing a great job. So we break it down into 4 different segments. So before Sean hits us with the roll call in terms of the standings, we break it down into 4 segments, and blame me if you don't like the way it works. The second segment is always dedicated to the Arizona Cardinals because we are an Arizona Cardinals show at our core. The first segment are those games that kind of caught my eye for various reasons to put in that first segment to really highlight. The third segment will be the second tier of those, and then the fourth segment, that's kind of, we call that the flash round, so to speak. Those are the games that nobody really wants to look at, and if you in those markets, we feel sorry for you. So Sean, without further ado, why don't you go ahead and give us that rundown of the standings, kind sir?
All right, we're going to go point totals and all. We got 4th place, Casual E, with 80 points. It's a solid showing. We got Ed at 86. Jay, your son has brought you back to life. You are at 89, behind me by 1 with 90. You know, I'm not stressing, though. I had a couple glasses of wine. I don't do cigars, but if I did cigar, I'd have a cigar in my mouth right now because this thing ain't going nowhere. Come on now.
Indeed. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first game up on the docket. Oh, well, before I begin, the buys this week. Man,
are we mathematically eliminated, Sean?
Who? You?
All of us from getting the trophy.
No, you are. I mean, no one else is except for you. You're probably eliminated for sure, right? I could pick upsets every week up and down the board, and you still might not catch me, Earl. I don't know.
Oh, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah. All right.
That's like those girls back in the day. We can't do it now because it's politically incorrect. Remember back in the day, you used to play Catch and Kiss or something like that, and then I got the gas face.
I don't know what games you guys used to play.
Dog, you ain't from where I'm from, fool. So the buys this week, it's a shame because they were on such a roll. The Jets, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, and the Falcons have buys this week. So let's get with the first game. Seahawks at the Rams. The Seahawks at the Rams. So Seahawks have a record of 6-2. It's one of those. I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk about the Steelers with they're undefeated right now and saying that it's kind of a hollow 8-0 where as they stand right now. That's in a lot of ways that's the way I feel about the Seattle Seahawks at 6-2. Their defense is bad. It would be an understatement when it comes to their defense. But we have the Rams coming in. The Rams at 5-3 as they are at home. So, what are your thoughts on this game? We know Russ does what he does, but I'm telling you, man, that defense for the Seahawks, that if that, whew, good Lord. Your thoughts on this one, Sean?
To me, this is just going to be another classic NFC West matchup. The Rams defense consistently holding teams under 30. Seattle likes to kind of push 30, right? This is going to be a good game, and I feel it's going to be closer than predicted. However, the Rams offense hasn't convinced me in a single game. They really haven't. Spotty, consistent, inconsistent. They might find a groove against the Seattle defense that is, like you said, definitely the team's weakness if you had to pick it. Overall, I think Seattle's the better team, and they will come away with the win, but it's going to be a close one.
Casual E.
You said that they giving up a little under 30. You said that like that was a good thing.
The Rams are holding teams under 30. Some defenses can't do that. I got to give them credit where credit.
You're giving up too many points.
It's a lot of points. I'm giving you that, but
that's the whole thing about this division. We're supposed to be the best division in this league, and we are offensively. All these teams in this division, NFC West, are good offensively, maybe with the 49ers being an exception, but the teams that are challenging. But every last one of them got suspect defenses. Yeah. Every last one of them. And
talent on paper, but
points. They give up a lot of points. So, I mean, the Cardinals are actually averaging the less out of all of those. They were only giving up 22, I believe, 22 or 23, something like that. But still, over the last few games, we've been giving up a lot of points. But this matchup is going to be good from a standpoint of the receiver and the cornerback. Jalen Ramsey versus DK Metcalf. This is must-see TV. We want to see just how physical and how good Jalen Ramsey is. We already saw what Patrick Peterson did with DK. Let's see if Jalen can match that. They're going to be hoping for the Cardinals' sake. We're hoping that the Rams win this game. That's what we want. Now, this could be a shootout because, like I said, both these defenses give up a lot of points. So I'm looking at, no team is giving up more points. No more yards, I should say, than the Seattle Seahawks, giving up 362 yards a game. So This could be a Rams, and Seahawks offensive shootout, and I'm hoping that the Rams do just enough to win. I'm going with the Rams just because, that's a divisional game, and I'm hoping for the Cardinals' sake the Rams can pull it out.
And, real quick before we go to the next one, Jay, this will be interesting to see from a Cardinals perspective because I want to see what the Rams can do defensively against Russell, if they're going to force him to run or not, because this will also tell how the Rams are going to play us in these two games that we still haven't played the Rams with. It might be a little telling for the Cardinals how we can match up against their defense and play their offense as well, because we have a lot of parallels. So this will be a big game to watch for a Cardinals perspective.
It's also interesting because I think I mentioned it. I've mentioned it to the group. I think that when the Cardinals beat the Seahawks, they kind of provided a little bit of that blueprint on how to attack the Seahawks. And so we saw that with what the Bills did. And so what will the Rams do? Will they have the ability to put that pressure on Russell? And really the last couple of weeks, he's really been throwing a lot of interceptions. I mean, he's been putting up points, but still been throwing some interceptions as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works for him. So 49ers at the Saints. The 49ers are 4-5. The New Orleans Saints are 6-2. The reason I have this here, then no other reason than because it is a divisional foe. We want to make sure that it's interesting. I'm curious to see how you guys pick on this, or just how you feel about not only who you think will win, but who you would want to win or lose, because we know that we could see, the Saints at some point. Do we want the dirt to be put on the grave of the San Francisco 49ers, or a little bit more dirt? We know that they can still try to make some type of rally as the season wears on, if they're able to make any type of adjustments via coaching and people, stepping up and all those things. So what do you think on this matchup, Casual E?
Yeah, the Saints are rolling right now and have shown to be the more consistent team in the NFC right now, above all those teams that are trying to challenge for the NFC right now. They're the consistent, and this was without their number one receiver. So now that they're getting Michael Thomas back in the swing of things, they're going to be really tough to beat in the NFC. They get Michael Thomas back.
Is he going to be back? Because you never know. I mean, it's only Thursday.
He was back last week, but I'm talking
I
about
mean,
he can
back
still punch
really
somebody tomorrow.
flow.
We don't
I
know.
mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
true,
you never know
true,
with Michael Thomas.
true.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I don't know. I don't know all of that, but I know for sure on that field, defensive see him on that field, like, oh damn. So, and Drew Brees becomes a different Drew Brees. We don't see the dink and dunk guy anymore. We kind of see the guy kind of getting the intermediate routes back because Michael Thomas gets open. I like the Saints going ahead and taking care of business in this game and go ahead and bury the Niners so we can know for sure that we would be at least in that wild card talk, in the talks in the wild card, because we want to go ahead and bury them, and it's going to be a two-team race, in my opinion, with the Seahawks and Cardinals. I think somehow the Rams are going to fall out of there at some point too. But also the Niners are playing this game also without they're playing this game with backups at quarterback, tight end, receiver, defensive end, and keep going. It's going to get ugly. So
coaches,
just keep counting them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Might be some backup coaches in there too somewhere from COVID-19.
I think Casual E might want a backup coach on the sidelines for the Cardinals. If we'll get when we get to that segment, we'll see how it feels. How do you have this one playing out, Sean?
Well, real quick, Jay, you don't get enough time. You don't get enough airtime being able to share your picks, man. You always dial it up so nice. You bring us out the entree. You don't tell us what you think. What's the recommendation of the day? What's the soup of the day, man? Tell us. What do you think?
I think the Saints in this one, I think when you look at the 49ers are a well-coached team. I think if nothing else that we've learned, even when the 49ers were down a couple of seasons ago when Garoppolo was out with an injury and all these things, I think that's where we really were able to see how the coach was able to really get the most out of the bunch that he had. So I expect them to be game, but I think that given it's a world of attrition when it comes to this. And so I think the Saints will end up coming through. Mr. Tiptoes, AKA Drew Brees, I think he'll end up pulling this one out.
Yeah, I got San Francisco having no chance, nada. Saints have found a groove rolling in 5 straight wins. We can't overstate that. It's 5 straight wins since dropping 2 straight early in the year. Meanwhile, right. San Fran can't get their own stars on the field on the same days. The Saints are going to run away with this one, in my opinion. Taysom Hill might have 7 touchdowns. Who knows? Could be first in the game where where one team has 3 quarterbacks scoring a touchdown. With Jameis, Breeze, they'll sit Breeze after the first half, and Taysom will score one in one way or another. This might be the first time 3 QBs in one game score a touchdown.
Wow. You know what's interesting to me is that so Taysom Hill, I mean, dang, man, talk about, we've all worked at organizations where there was somebody that had marginal talent, but just seemed to fall up. Just up. I mean, no matter what they did, they just kept either getting raises or getting new opportunities. That's this dude, Taysom Hill. I mean, I get it. I mean, but dog. I mean, come on, man. I mean, this
can actually play quarterback in this league, or is it just a product of him being able to run?
Maybe. I think once he gets in to play quarterback full time, you'll see they'll do everything they can to make it seem like it's not his fault when he's falling on his face, and everybody else needs to pick their game up in order to help him to be able to get bit. Nah, man, that doesn't quite curl right to me. I don't know how I feel about that. But that's just me. So let's move on to the Colts at the Titans. The Colts are coming in at 5-3. We talked I mentioned in terms of the coaching with the San Francisco 49ers. I'm curious with Frank Reich, his coach. I mean, I heard something with the last couple of days about his coaching that he seems to be that would mark him as a good coach. And I'm curious, as you guys are giving your picks here, how do you think of him as a coach? Seems to be that with the group that he has, that maybe, I don't know if overachieving is the right word, but you really gets the most out of his talent. Doesn't mean that they're going to be necessarily Super Bowl bound, but trying to get the most out of what he has. And I just want to get your thoughts when you guys give your picks. But the Tennessee Titans come in at 6-2. Mike Vrabel, I mean, he's doing his thing. I mean, you can't complain about that. And of course, whenever you have one of the best running backs in the league, and this of course is the Thursday night game. And as we talk about this, it is the third quarter. Typically we wait until the end because the game is either almost decided or pretty much done by the time we hit the air. But they're in the third quarter, 8:27 left to go in the third quarter. It is 17-13. Tennessee Titans are leading this one. How did you guys have this one playing out? Let's start with you, Sean.
Yeah, to speak on the coaches for a minute here, both coaches are really excelling at how to get, like you said, the most with what they have. Colts, especially on the defensive end, are seeing a lot of the fruits of their labor, per se. I mean, sometimes you just kind of get stuck with Phillip Rivers. So, I mean, you're going to get what you get with him. But this was an interesting game for me. A grind-out game for sure. I had it going to be maybe tight all the way through. And if the Colts take care of the ball, they could keep it very, very close and competitive, and we're seeing that so far. A defensive game by every stretch of the imagination. Huh? Yeah, just wait, right? It's not the fourth quarter yet. The real question I had was if the Colts could stop Derrick Henry, and right now he's at 51 yards, so it sounds like maybe not. Halfway through the season, and he already has 843 yards. I mean, good grief, Charlie Brown, which is what the Colts defense will say when Rivers throws another late pick. So, Titans win.
What you got, Casual E?
The two coaches that came out from under Bill Belichick's coaching tree, Brian Flores and Mike Vrabel, that you're talking about for this Titans team, those are two guys that have done it and have succeeded in being good coaches because they're not trying to copy Bill Belichick. They have learned some things from Bill Belichick, and they have incorporated some things, but they're not trying to be Bill Belichick, which is why all these other guys fail. I love what these two guys have done. Vrabel he's just being who he is, and but they're incorporating what they've learned as coaches, and you can see it on the field. When I look at Flores when he in the Miami game, I know we're not talking about the Dolphins, but when you look at Flores, what he did in that game was what did he try to do? He tried to take away our number one weapon, just like Belichick would do. Just the scheming and how to do some things. You can see some of Bill Belichick in them, but they're not trying to be Belichick, copying with the sweaters and how they talk to the media and all that, how these guys been trying to do, the guys that's been failing at it. But this game, man, the key to this game is, of course, we know is the running game with Henry, but Tannehill has just been awesome. I mean, y'all got to admit, this dude has been much better than everybody anticipated him being. He is definitely I mean, it's hard to even just say the words elite quarterback, but right now he has a team that he is elite for his team. I'm just going to put it that way. He is the elite quarterback for that team.
That's what Derrick Henry will do for you.
Okay.
I mean, but it is what it is. I mean,
it is what it is. That's why I said for that team.
Yeah.
Right. For that team. If he's got that running back, so what? That's how it just happened to be the running back he has, and the scheme they have, he can run it perfectly with that whatever he's doing. He's got 19 touchdowns and 3 picks on the year. He is balling. He takes care of the ball in big games. The other number 17 don't quite do that, and that's why they've lost a lot of these games that they've lost. Phillip Rivers is giving up. Well, he's only got 10 touchdowns with 7 picks, but half of those interceptions are in the fourth quarter when the game's on the line. And I'm watching this game, and it's kind of starting to look like it's going to end up the same way. He's going to do something in that fourth quarter to put his own team away. The other team don't have to put them away. Phillip will put his own team away.
It's true.
But Henry should be the X factor in this game, but I just love the way Tannehill's playing this game right now. But I thought the Titans would win it. That's who I picked.
And so that brings it into our first segment. We're gonna take a quick break and come back and break down the Bills at the Cardinals. We'll take a slight look back on the missed opportunities from the matchup against the Miami Dolphins. I gotta ask because I don't know if Sean was out of town or if he was at that game. I don't know because he's among the elite dudes around here. So we're gonna come back after these messages. It is the Neutral Zone.
You are listening to the Neutral Zone right here on KSRNAZ.com.
You can. That's how we do it. So it is the Neutral Zone. So again, I am Javon J. Love Adams, joined by Casual E. Earl Burnett and Sean McConnell, and we are missing our brother in arms, the one and only Ed Easy Smith. So this is the part where we talk a little bit about the Arizona Cardinals. Last week, I mean, I think it's funny because no matter what where we might butter our bread, so to speak, we are in the media, for lack of a better term, right? Yeah. So, but it's easier to talk. It's harder to talk about a win because you don't want to get too over the top about, oh, well, they did this great, they did that great. But when you get a loss, dog, you got You got the full menu. You got the first, second, third entree. You got the dessert. You got the creme brulee. You got it all, dog. And I think we got that type of menu right here. So the Arizona Cardinals ended up coming up short to the Miami Dolphins. It was definitely a game where it was a winnable game. I think all of us believed that the Cardinals would come out, whether it was going to be close or whether it was going to be a larger margin. We all thought that the Cardinals would bring enough energy, and that's going to be a word that I'll use here probably a lot during this segment, a lot of energy to the game, the focus, the execution, etc. And it seems that on the offense and defensive side of the ball, it seems to be more what the coaches didn't do that becomes a little bit of the story, or would I be off there? I know that the Cardinals, when it comes to who they had out, the cornerback position is definitely an area of concern for the Cardinals, which is something to think about as they head to upstate New York to take on the Buffalo Bills. But I wanted to get your thoughts on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Did you have any issues with the coaching, Sean, with what you saw? And were you at the game, or were you doing some other things last weekend?
I was definitely in Sedona. It was a COVID postponed trip. It was supposed to be for the 30th back in April with my wife. We got to get away. It was worth it. We got back we got back in time to not like come on, man. We got back in time to watch the game against Miami. With the coaching, yeah, I definitely had taken exception to Cliff taking the ball out of Murray's hands on another 4th and 1. Right, there was the 4th and 1 where you go for it like 2 or 3 times at midfield, and you're closer now, and you try to run it up the middle with Chase Edmonds for a yard. And that's Chase. Chase is good. Chase is great. I love Chase. It's not Chase's fault. That's a great run defense. That was a bad play call. You give it to Kyler. You fake the option and let Kyler do what he's going to do. If he loses, put the loss on him like Earl and I talked about on Monday. I had a problem with that. Defensively, I would have liked to see Vance blitz all game long. This is a rookie. He's an unproven commodity. Why are you letting him even find the third-string cornerback on our defense? Why are you letting him look for that guy? Don't give him the time. That was the problems that I had with that game. The problems that the Bills might have in this game, though, looking forward, I'm looking at the injury report. Norman and White, both corners, are questionable. That could be an issue for them. If we push the issue on them, they might not have enough in the tank to last with our extremely good receiving core. I got more in this game, but this is the big segment. Let's just bounce it around. So,
yeah. I know, Earl, when you joined Ed and I on Believe in the Arizona Cardinals, you were talking about the fact that Tua was able to not just look at one. He was able to go through his progression, first, second, third option,
3, 4,
and be able to just be really with ease and with comfort. So your thoughts when you're talking about the offensive, defensive side of the ball. Let's just to kind of play devil's advocate a little bit, gentlemen. If you're coaching and you see your star player, he goes and he rolls, puts his shoulder down and all that stuff, and he looks a little bit shooken up. Do you call the play for him no matter what, or do you, as Cliff seemed to do, say, nah, we gotta let's call a different play. Let's put the ball into the hands of another player. Can you really come down on Cliff that much for that? Because if, let's say, there's a lot of risk that's involved. I know that it's a game of risk, but there is a lot of risk involved. But your thoughts on that, Casual E?
Yeah, you from the beginning, like I told you, the game plan from the defensive standpoint to me was just off to begin with. When you come in as a defense and you want to feel out what this rookie's going to do, and rather than attacking him from the get-go, it backfired on us because the kid got comfortable. Like I told you, he got comfortable. And as far as Cliff is concerned, when the fourth quarter starts in the college football and all the people put up that tight fist or the tight fist or the four, I'll go with the tight fist. That's for a tight ass for Cliff Kingsbury, because that's what happens in the fourth quarter. And that's joking, but look back at everything that happens in the fourth quarter. He gets really tight.
Can that be something that can loosening up and being more aggressive? Can that be something that's learned that you can adapt to? I'll start. Let you continue, Earl.
Yeah.
But I want your thoughts on that as well, Sean. So go ahead, Earl.
can he adapt to as
to
far,
to not being so
so
Tight.
nervous and not
Okay, I'm gonna
uptight in those moments.
I'm gonna tell you how he can alleviate being tight in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Stop robbing your future franchise quarterback from being who he is in the moments that he's supposed to be in. Stop robbing him from it. Stop robbing him from his growth moments. Stop robbing him from his superstar MVP moments. Stop robbing him because that's what he's doing. He takes the ball out of his hands. I will live and die with the ball in Kyler's hands regardless. And if he gets that attitude, he won't be so tight because if you go in the fourth quarter, you live and die by your star quarterback and the veterans around him. And the 3rd and 1, they chose to go to Christian Kirk. Now Christian Kirk is an up and coming receiver, and no doubt about that. He's good, but that's a crucial fourth quarter game. You need that first down. There should be a list that has number 11 all the way down that list for Kyler Murray. Look, 11 gets this ball, you or 11, that's it. I don't want you looking at nobody else because that's security. And when he gets to that point, he'll be a calm and cool coach because you know why? He'll be believing in that quarterback. I'm not saying he doesn't believe in him, but you can tell. Cliff pulls back when Kyler gets a little erratic sometimes. Like if he fumbled early, oh, I can't have him out there fumbling. Oh, he got hit. Oh, I can't have him getting hit. And everything that happens in the game, he reacts to it instead of just letting Kyler be Kyler. Kyler wanted to win that game. You could tell. He wanted that game bad. He put his head down. Hey, this is a game-winning play. I have to put my head down. This is what leaders do. And he went head on trying to get that first down. You got to get him up. Go, hey, I believe it. You try to get that first down. Damn right. You going again and try to get it again. And he robbed him from that, man. And that's the difference. Yes, he's tight when the fourth quarter comes. And he's got to get out of that. He's got to give Kyler the ball and just say, live with it. And another thing too, Kyler can live with the win on his back, the loss on his back. He might not show it as much, good like he's supposed to do in his press conferences, but right. Hey, a loss, I'll shake it off. It's on me. And he said it before. That was on me. When he had the picks, he would say, that's on me. I'll come back. And he comes back better. So let it be in his hands. Give it to him. Let him have it.
Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, there's one way to loosen. There's a couple ways to loosen up. It's called coffee and X-Lax. Okay.
I know that before runs for sure.
Yeah, he's tight like this. He needs to be loose like that. Right. So,
yeah. For sure.
So Cliff tends, I think, to listen in his ear too much about the stats. It's 4th and 1 on this. This is what they've been showing. We got to run this play. This play is more effective. He needs to find a balance between that and BA's. This is my gut, and I'm going with my gut, period. Right. Talk to me afterwards, right? He needs to find a balance of that, and it will come over time. I'm going to give Cliff some more slack, more than I would Vance Joseph, because Vance has been in the league longer. He's also at a coordinator position right now, and Cliff's young. He's got a lot to learn. That's one of the learning moments for both of them. This game is crucially critical when it comes to coaching, right? Cliff has to find that balance of trusting the statistics and trusting his gut. You have K1. He's virtually a human cheat code out there on the football field right now. You put the ball in his hands on 4th and 1, and not in the legs of Zane Gonzalez, who tends to choke in tight moments. He tends to, and I'm thinking also this game with Buffalo is going to look wildly different because Hopkins is going to get more targets naturally because he didn't this week. It always tends to be the over rebounding, and okay, now we're going to force feed him a little bit more. But thank God for 25 on Miami's defense. He was the MVP of our team last week because he just could not guard Hopkins. And I think that is something that we're going to continue to exploit, move the ball down the field with just DPI calls. The Miami game, it was a tough one, right? Penalties hurt drives. We still had imperfect play. The defense looked complacent, and Tua took advantage. We have to shore up those things because Josh Allen, when he gets in a rhythm, he gets in a rhythm big time.
So let's talk about this then. So how do you have this one playing out? You have Stephon Diggs over on the other side. You got Josh Allen. I mean, he's big enough. He's mobile enough. I always use that. I always refer to Bomani Jones when he says if he was a black quarterback, he'd be Jaheim Allen, and everybody would say he's so mobile, but they don't like to really to give that much to him because he's because that's not what he is. But then also looking at I mentioned earlier, and this is kind of maybe where this comes full circle, that the Cardinals provided the blueprint on how to beat the Seahawks. Will the Bills try to use that same, of course, with different slight variations, that same method to be able to try to apply that to the Cardinals? Because, people always refer to Kyler Murray as a faster, smaller but faster version of Russell Wilson. So how do you see this game ultimately playing out, Casual E?
Yeah, this is gonna come back to game planning again. Both these teams have the high-powered offenses, but from what I can tell on tape, I watched that Buffalo game. They do a lot of four wide receiver sets. It's called 10 personnel, four wide receiver sets, and the Cardinals practice against that every day in practice. And I said, you know what? There's now you got to switch your game plan up. If that's what you do in practice and that's what you see coming to you in practice, make sure that's in the game plan because that's what you're going to see all game long. And then you guys talked about the receiver Diggs, and this is going to come down to on both sides. You got Tre'Davious White, if he plays in this game, is going to be matched up with Hopkins. Good corner. Patrick Peterson is going to be matched up with Diggs. That's a bad matchup for Patrick because Patrick does good with the big, slower dudes, the big physical dude. He can do good with that guy, but he's lost a step. He can't stay with the speedy guy anymore. So if he matches up with Diggs in this game, I'm kind of concerned about that. Do we switch off, let B. Murphy go on this guy? That's what I would do.
Yep.
Paul Richardson said something to me. I was on his show Tuesday, and he said something really interesting. He said, maybe we should just go ahead and move Patrick to safety and let B. Murphy play in the corner.
I've been saying that.
You know what? I never thought of that. I'm like, you know what? That's exactly right. Because Patrick has lost a step to the point where he can't even anticipate what receivers are doing anymore. I saw him that last play when Tua had us in the end zone, had him in his back to our end zone, throwing out on a 3rd and 9. All you got to do is break that ball up and then get them off the field. They don't have that 97-yard drive or 93-yard drive. Patrick overplayed it. He saw Tua throwing the ball and just couldn't react, couldn't flip his hips. It's like he's losing a step. So my point is, I like what Paul says. Put that guy at safety, and because he can see what's in front of him, he can anticipate what quarterbacks are doing. He'd be a whole lot better. He already got one pick this year off of playing in safety when they did it in the scheme. So I would imagine that could be something Vance Joseph to look at. But this game can play out. It's going to play out if we can get Josh Allen on the ground. That's going to be it. Our tackling has been horrible in the first half of games.
It really showed. It showed they had a couple of wide open lanes to be able to get to, and they just couldn't wrap them up.
Quarterbacks right on the ground, lanes to get running backs lost in the backfield, lanes to get a receiver limited to 2 or 3. They ends up getting 7 or 8.
Right.
Because we come in tackling high all the time. Everybody's running and trying to grab at the body instead of going down low and wrapping somebody up from their feet like Buddha does. He's the only one that tackles correctly. So I see this game playing out. It could go either way. I mean, shootout wise, scoring wise, you can name it. It's going to be a good game. I don't know. I'm not going to even call a winner on this one. I'm going to wait because I got a couple of more shows to do coming up before this game.
You might change your mind.
I'm going to do some more analyzing on tape, bring some stuff out on tape to let everybody see. But, man, this is going to be a good game to watch. And I want to see which coaching staff can do some adjustments on the fly in this game.
Adjustments are key. I think that's the big thing that we need to see more from this coaching staff on both sides of the ball is adjustments. Well, how do you see this one playing out, Sean?
Well, for starters, I just want to say I mentioned that Peterson should probably move to safety weeks ago, so I'm kind of hurt that Earl's listening to PLR and not me, but whatever. It's fine. I'll get over it. Anyways, with Murphy coming back, Buffalo is a pass-first team. Let's make no doubt about it. They're better at passing than they are at running. That's why Allen's running more than his running back is. Murphy coming back from protocol, I think we should put him on Diggs. That would be instrumental here. Peterson just takes whatever's left. Buffalo's run defense, not where they want to be. You're going to get Kenyon Drake back. You still have Chase. That's where we're going to really exploit them and move the ball and set up our passing game even better. I'm calling the Cardinals in this game. I was on JB and Benny Blue's show on Tuesday. I said they were going to go 3-1 the last 4 games. They went 3-1. I'm saying they're going 3-1 again, and this is one of those wins for the Cardinals. I think that we can keep Josh Allen out of just enough of a rhythm. It'll be close, but I'm going Cardinals here.
One more thing. I forgot to add to the game plan for Vance Joseph. Remember his game plan? We wanted to see more blitzes, right? Because he was doing a good job in that Cowboy game and in the Seahawks game blitzing and sending everybody. This game, he's got to be careful blitzing because Josh Allen exploits the blitz at a 60% completion rate. This kid reminds me of Kurt Warner, how he used to just kill the blitz. So we got to be careful blitzing this guy in this game. So that's another good key point to look at. That's one of the things I'm gonna look at on tape is watch how he handles the blitz.
All right, so that's what's up. So let's move on to the to Minnesota. Minnesota Vikings at the Bears is Monday night. But real quick, a quick update. At the 1:52 left in the third quarter. Goodness gracious! Indianapolis 27-17 up on Indianapolis is up 10 on the Titans. So
They still got
how that one
time.
plays out. We'll let you know before the end of the show how that plays out. So again, the Monday night game, the Vikings at 3-5 coming into Chicago at 5-4. Interesting on this one. I still don't believe in those Bears. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. Just curious because it's one of those divisional matchups that you see, so you just never know how it will definitely play out. But it's interesting. We got Kirk Cousins, and then we got on the other side we got Foles doing his thing as well.
Pick Foles or the other guy.
Yeah, Foles or the other guy. So how do you see this one playing out, Sean?
Well, can the Vikings hit the trifecta in their division and go on back-to-back wins in their division? No. Unfortunately, that good luck wave that they rode the last 2 weeks is going to come to an end. I do think the Bears are fake. They're not this fake. They're going to capitalize on Captain Checkdown. That defense especially will feast on Cousins. And they're going to finally find a way to put points on the board offensively. Maybe it's just because the defense is scoring. But I'm picking the Bears at home.
Mr. Burnett.
How? How are they going to find points? How?
Pick sixes.
With that coach, what the hell is Matt Nagy doing? With that coach, I don't see them finding points nowhere. It's like, what the hell are you doing? He brings in Trubisky to run RPO. Okay, the MO in the NFL was Trubisky can't throw the freaking ball. So we know you're going to run it. Duh. This coach is stupid, man.
He's got a good defense, though.
That's wonderful analysis.
Oh, man. RPO. Oh, he got pulled because he couldn't throw the ball. But let's run an RPO. Stupid. But anyway, I see this going just the opposite. I see the Vikings hitting their stride like what did I tell y'all game one when we started this show? I said, what are the Vikings going to do? They're going to struggle out the gate, and at the last minute, they're going to start winning games and try to make that playoff. They love doing that. That's the same thing with the Chargers, exactly. So that's where they are right now. They're starting to win some games and starting to feel offensively, definitely from an offensive standpoint, they're feeling good because Dalvin Cook is running his butt off for that team. And they have to ride him, and they're going to ride him. It's going to be tough to run against this Bears defense, that's for sure. But I still think that offense is good enough to beat this averaging, less than 17 points a game Bears team, really? I don't see either one of them quarterbacks making any kind of points on anything, especially with the game plan with that coach.
That's true.
I got the Vikings in this one for sure.
All right, so we got the Buccaneers at the Panthers. The Buccaneers are 6-3. The Panthers are 3-6. The reason why I put this game here, because really there aren't a lot of good games this week. But besides that, Tom Brady, anytime he loses, man, is it the end? Did he not have his avocado toast?
Right.
Could it all these
excuse somewhere?
I do like me some avocado toast, but it's always all these storylines. People are just waiting. They just waiting to be able to write these storylines. And in your our former coach is catching a lot of flack here as well. With Bruce Arians as well. And so, maybe he need to, because I keep seeing him, he need to get a haircut or something like that. He don't look as fresh. He don't look like that. He look like a grandpa. He don't look like the cool uncle. Yeah. But drinking too many of that hard liquor. But so your thoughts on how this will play out, Casual E, what you got in this one?
Yeah, the shell-shocked Buccaneers losing their confidence, man. And I look back when all these, and this is any sport, when all these super teams get put together, there's always a moment where that get defined that shows them that y'all need more time together. Y'all need more time together. You need more time to get. That's just how it goes. And they looked good here and there, spots here and they look dangerous. Now they back to where they're at that moment where they have to find ways to find out to gel together. Now you add Antonio Brown to that mix. Those receivers are like, okay, what do we do now? Who's going to get the ball more and whatever? And now Brady's starting to digress a little bit more. His arm looked really tired in that game last week. So, and BA wants to throw that deep ball, and Brady's not getting that deep ball out there. So, like I said, this whole super team thing, we'll see how it plays out, but it always fails the first year, and then it kind of gets better, the next year. But I don't know. But I like the Panthers in this game because McCaffrey is going to be a thorn in their side in this game.
He might not play.
And, that's true. That's true. He might not play. He's got a rib injury. I just heard.
But I'll let you pick him.
I just see the Bucks kind of like don't know where they are right now. I mean, I know you just 1 or 2 good big plays away from waking up, but man, this is the NFL. Anybody, if you don't come in being the team you're supposed to be, any team can beat you. I'm going with the Panthers just for the hell of it because I see the Buccaneers like struggling not to to figure out who they are right now.
It's interesting to me. I wonder how those you always hear about those meetings that a coach and the offensive coordinator, and I would imagine that Bruce Arians is in those meetings as well. All right, so quarterback, insert name here. Okay, Tom Brady. What plays do you like? I like these, and they're all maybe mid range and short range type, maybe passing plays and stuff. And then when he leaves the room, all right, so we're gonna do the 9, the 9, the 9, and the 9.
And when you see Mike Evans and he open, throw it to him.
And then Tom is saying, "What the hell, man? I just told you I wanted odds and evens." But anyway, so it's going to be interesting to see. So what do you got in this one, Sean?
Yeah, Tampa Brady doesn't lose 2 straight. Carolina's been spiraling for about a month now. After getting beat down by one divisional opponent for the Bucks, you need to turn around and do the same to a weaker divisional opponent, and that's what the Panthers are right now. They're not like canyons wide weak, but they are weaker than the Bucks, so the Bucks have to take care of business on the road. I'm going Bucks.
All right, so I think we're going to transition to the Ravens going to the Patriots. It's a Sunday night game. This is just interesting because you hear the Ravens are 6-2, the Patriots are 3-5 after that. They won that game last week. It was an interesting. If you watch, this is just my little aside. If you watch, if you watch the quarterback for if you watch Cam Newton, and you'll see that he just can't throw that deep ball. He just can't, dog. Or if he does, his accuracy is worse than mine would be, and it's sad to see. I mean,
yeah,
and that's been his whole MO the whole time. So the reason why that you would have him throw that deep ball, it just seems crazy, and his accuracy has always been in question. But having said that, the reason that I put this here is along those same lines for different reasons. You've heard about Lamar Jackson having kind of regressing a bit, and I think that often that falls on the shoulders of the offensive coordinator in terms of the plays that he's calling, or when they get down, how maybe he gets the Cliff Kingsbury type of tight butt clenching type thing going on there as well. But just this is an opportunity for the Ravens to beating the Patriots this year, given the number of people that they had opt out because of COVID and all those types of things. It doesn't as the kids say, it hits different this year than it would other times. But this allows you to really try to maybe reestablish some of that dominance that you had over the last season and a half or so. So how do you see this one playing out, Sean? What do you got?
Yeah, the Baltimore defense allowing 17.8 points per game, playing mostly lesser opponents lately, minus Pittsburgh. No doubt about it, New England is the lesser opponent to them this year. Baltimore's up 11 points in point differential, while New England's -4. So every point they're scoring less than they're letting in. So Patriots can put up yards, but fail to capitalize on those yards. That team can move down the field. They can't get points on the board. I think Baltimore's going to win handedly here.
Casual E.
Man, all the teams that play the Jets that have been struggling and they play when they're coming into the game, they get those extra needed live practice reps when they play the Jets, and that's what happened with New England. They needed something to get Cam back to feeling good, and But you got to realize these two teams are on two different levels,
Yep.
and it's going to prove it when they play each other. They're on two different levels.
Yeah.
If you got to be down by 10 points and make your way back and win by 3 to the Jets, what makes you think you're on any level to play the Ravens?
Hmm.
I mean, I can't see that even happening. And then when you look at these two quarterbacks, they are kind of struggling in a way. I mean, getting the ball downfield. Lamar can't throw the ball to the receivers.
Yeah.
He can't get the ball downfield. He said it himself. Man, some of the defenses called out our plays. No crap. They call out your play because you only throw the tight end and the running back.
But does that fall on the offensive coordinator?
I
then?
think so. A little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both, and a little bit of not having that wide out that can make plays for him on the outside. I mean,
Okay.
Brown is, to me, at best, a good slot guy that can get deep. I don't see him as an outside guy. They're not going to get Dez in there right now because he's not ready to give them anything from the outside, and he's kind of like probably almost washed up probably. So they need an outside presence, which they should have did at the trade deadline, but they didn't. But still, you have receivers. You still have to attempt to throw the ball, and he's having a hard time throwing the deep ball too accurately. So they both look the same. So what this game going to come down to, two guys that are going to be having the most running yards on their team at quarterback.
Huh.
That's what it's going to come down to. And Lamar's going to probably be, the guy that's leading that because he's a little bit faster and shiftier. And Cam is that big 1 yard push, and he'll get all those little short yardages and whatever. But it's going to be just running quarterback all day. And then Ravens are going to win this game easily to me because I don't think they're on the same level with the Ravens.
Interesting. So yeah, I did get you, Sean. Right?
Oh, yeah,
Sean.
you did.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. We're
Yeah.
to Biggie Smalls. So Broncos at Raiders. So this is interesting because we got people in upper management catching COVID, catching that 1-9 that Star Saxon likes to say.
Yeesh.
So the Broncos are 3-5. We got the Raiders. It just feels good to say because I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to say it. 5-3. We 2 games over 500. Fool. What you know about it?
First time in 50 years.
We take whatever we can get, dog. But so 5-3. So just in terms of this is again one of those divisional matchups. You never know how it's going to quite play out.
Yeah.
So how do you see this one playing out? We'll start with you first, casually.
I think this could be a trap game for the Raiders. I mean, because they're getting back to where they were supposed to be as a good team and supposed to be showing themselves a contender in the AFC. And then they get a game like this, and they much like the Cardinals, play down to that competition and end up losing. And that's how the Raiders have been doing that for decades.
True.
But I see them. Hopefully Gruden gets a hold of that and calms that down and doesn't make them come in overlooking this Bronco team. But it is a divisional game, and these two teams know each other in and out, and anything can happen when you play division. So I'm going to take the Raiders because of their balanced attack, and I think that their defense is good enough to rattle Lock enough to, force a few turnovers in this game. So I'm going to take the Raiders on that one.
What do you think of this one?
Real quick, I just want to add that the Titans just missed a field goal. Goskowski missed a field goal, so it is still 27-17 with the Colts. About 12 minutes left in that.
Fantasy points.
So, yeah, well, the Raiders, I got the Raiders in this game. They're going to take care of divisional business at home, and their main reason, Derek Carr has only thrown 2 picks this year. 2 of them. It's time with your new coach does wonders, right? So it's showing for Carr. He's really redeemed himself over this year. Denver's going to keep the game close, but ultimately they're going to fall apart late. I got Raiders in the divisional win.
Broncos picking another quarterback in the draft this year, aren't they?
Probably three more.
Yeah, probably. That's just all they do is just pick quarterbacks. That's what they do.
Yep.
So let's move on to Eagles at the Giants. The Eagles, because they fly so high, Eagles fly 3-4-1. Good Lord. The Giants 2-7. My brother-in-law is is a Giants fan. Yeah. So anyway, four segments. So this is our speed round. So this is what we do. What you got in this one, Sean?
Yeah, Philly won this game a few weeks ago by 1 point, but I have to go with the QB that has the better touchdown to interception ratio. Somehow that's Wentz. He has 12 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. He has the better ratio at dead even because Jones has 8 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Good grief, the NFC West is ugly. I'm going Eagles.
Oh my goodness.
And at the same time, one of them teams could be playoff bound.
I hate this year.
Woo, Earl, what you got, man?
I'm gonna take Daniel Jones and the Giants because I don't like Carson Wentz and his style of play. I don't like stupid quarterbacks. I mean, I don't mean to just be insulting like
Stupid
that.
coaching, stupid quarterbacks.
Stupid quarterbacks just bother me, man. When you
I
stand
don't
back,
like
there,
stupid
throw the damn
quarterbacks.
ball away, please. I like
That needs,
not
that needs to
to
be
say
a
that Daniel
shirt.
Jones ain't in that same category sometimes, but at least sometimes he will throw it away and make the right play. But I'm going
Make that a shirt, man. Seriously, put it up on ksrnaz.com. I don't
Get the
like
merch
stupid
going.
quarterbacks. I'm telling you.
quarterbacks.
I'm telling you. So Jaguars at Packers. Jaguars, they're 1-7. They're in that trying to be in that quarterback sweepstakes to try to get if Trevor Lawrence comes out. I think the Jets are going to win that hands down. Then we have the Green Bay Packers. They're at 6-2. The Packers are trying to they're trying to assert dominance. They're trying to strike fear in the hearts of their opponents. What do you got in this one, Casual E?
Watch. I guarantee you the Packers struggle in this game. Watch. But they're going to win it. But watch early on. You're going to be like, well, how is the Jags stopping them? Why are they blowing this team out yet? Watch. It's going to take them some time to get rid of this Jags team. That's just Packers play down in to their opponents just like all the NFC. All these NFC teams are the same. Have you guys noticed that? They all are losing games they should win and play down in their competition. Nobody wants to jump up and grab hold except the Saints. But yeah, I think they'll win the game, but they're gonna have a struggle in this one.
Okay, Sean.
Yeah, I'm going Packers here too. It's getting really out of hand for Jacksonville, who seems to have no answers in the world on how to play football. It's going to be more of the same this weekend.
That is one of your best lines. No answers in the
Aren't they a
world
football team?
on how to play football. I love that. That is classic.
Bad.
They don't
That
know
is
how to play
classic.
football, man.
It's not as if they're an accountant trying to play football. They are football people trying to play football.
Football
That is
players that
excellent.
don't know how to play football.
That is excellent. So now we're going to move on to the Washington football team. Against the Detroit Lions. Washington football team is 2-6. Detroit Lions are 3-5. I mean, yeah, that's what's up. So, Sean, what you got in this one?
You thought that last one was good. This one's even better. The Lions put up 2 straight head-scratching performances while everyone knows what Washington's doing, losing as many games as possible. Lions win, even though if they win, it means Matt Patricia stays around longer.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Burnett?
Yeah, I'm going with the Lions, too. They got too much offense in this one with Stafford. Stafford's be too much for Washington to handle. And the Lions still think they in the playoff race.
Not this for whatever it's worth. If you put Stafford, let's play this little game that people play on radio shows. And heck, I'm a radio show host.
Yeah.
If you put Stafford onto insert the Patriots or let's say the Cardinals or the Seahawks, would he win exponentially more? I mean, just a thought, because he's just languishing there in Detroit for his entire career. If you put him on a better run team, a more stable organization, would he be mentioned in the name? Would he be mentioned among the names of the greats? Sean, your thoughts real quick.
Yeah, I think, it's going to be obviously based on the fit, but with the Patriots, I think it would be really intriguing, right? I mean, we think Stafford can be a stat stuffer, but with the Patriots, they do weird things with stats that it's wizardry, right? To see him with that team, it would be, they shoot off to the races come the start of whatever year he goes to. So, but you put him on a team like, say, Jacksonville, it's going to be even worse for him, and he's just going to be sitting there getting 0 completions. So it just depends on the situation. I mean, someone's got to get a free Stafford shirt out of here.
Earl, what do you think?
Man, great minds think alike. I had the same team in mind. If you put him on that Patriots team, he's a Super Bowl winner just like Brady. Maybe not as many, but he's a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
The talent, the arm talent, he better than Brady's for sure.
Tough as nails.
The deep ball, better than Brady's for sure. So you put him in that New England offense, just all you got to do is dink and dunk, and he would have been a dang Super Bowl contender, or the Ravens, one of the two teams. But I think he's got a bad rap, man. He's been in that team, on that team, that just dwindling away over there with all them stats and all them numbers he putting up and can't get nothing for it.
Sometimes loyalty does not pay off. So Texans at Browns, 2-6 Texans. The Cleveland Browns are 5-3. I think, Sean just loves to. I mean, he's just a glutton for punishment, and he loves to pick those Browns. But what do you got in this one? We'll start with you. Why not, Sean? What do you got in this one?
Going with the dang Browns. What do you think I'm doing? Inconsistency for both teams and a bad point differential for both as well. It's not the ideal game, but the Browns are home and at least have some more talent on their roster because they didn't trade everybody away. So Browns.
What do you got, Casual E?
Yeah, the Browns should get back on track and win a AFC game close, but they'll win.
All right, so let's get to the second to the last game. We got the Los Angeles Chargers, at the Miami Dolphins. And I mean, just for no other reason, that I hope that the Miami Dolphins win because it'll make, the Cardinals look better.
Will it?
Go on a
Not
roll.
really.
I
Hard.
don't know.
It'll make us feel worse.
Whatever, dog.
Yeah.
But the point is, so Miami comes in at 5-3. The Los Angeles Chargers are 2-6. Of course, this means that given the Chargers' history, they'll win like the remainder of the games of the season and just barely make the playoffs. But anyway, so what do you have in this one, Casual E?
Keep your eyes on this matchup future-wise. 2-3 years down the line, this could be an AFC Championship matchup at some point.
Yeah.
These two quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, are dynamic and awesome, man. They're going to be good. The Dolphins, if you look at their schedule, they could end up 9-3 before they face a good team that could beat them.
Huh.
They could be 9-3 by the time
Jeez.
they face a team that they have to say, oh, they're going to lose that game. Well, just go look at their schedule. You'll see, be like, dang, they balling. They're going to win this one too.
What you got, Sean?
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins here. Miami's trending in the right direction for the first time in a long time. Chargers are going through growing pains with all these late game losses and blown leads. I see more of the same here. Dolphins win.
And sorry,
Does-
Dashiki, dude. Yeah, your dude's definitely going to be out of there in L.A.
Putting the hat on before we done. So do you think Anthony Lynn makes it, given the fact of his quarterback's struggles? I mean, not his team struggles, not his quarterback struggles. But do you think he ends up making it through and getting to another season?
No, I don't, because this is a copycat league. They want to find him a guy that's going to make Tua what Tua should be.
There you
And
go.
Lynn don't look like that type of dude that's going to be innovative and make Tua dynamic. And they want to copy the Kingsburys and the McVays and the whatever. So yeah, I think they're going to find them their McVay or Kingsbury.
So 2-5-1 Cincinnati Bengals are heading to the 8-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. How do you see this one playing out? This is one of those things where the future of the league with the quarterback for the Bengals, and then the old gray beard, and I say that as I show my beard, old gray beard with Roethlisberger. He might not even play, right? Isn't he in COVID? Yeah, it's possible that he might not play. So we'll see how that goes. What do you got in this one, Sean?
Yeah, the Steelers have a lot of players that are showing up on that COVID list. So we were popping the hat on. We really don't know what's going to happen in this Steelers game. I'm going to say Pittsburgh's still going to win because they're the big brother to Baltimore. Well, baby brother's about to get some humble pie in a big way. I think the Steelers will still win 50-0, even without Big Ben. Distracting you with the hat.
Well, 50-0. Come on now.
I wrote this before Ben got on protocol, so I'll just stick with it.
Some credit. That kid, they're going to put up a fight for sure. They'll lose. They'll put up a fight. I mean, you look at what they did to Dallas. They overlooked Dallas last week, so they might overlook this Bengal team and keep them in the game, and they got a better quarterback. But I got to say something real quick. I'm watching the pregame show to this dang on game tonight.
Post game or pregame?
Terry Bradshaw said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
Was it against Tomlinson?
No. He said that this Pittsburgh Steelers team about to go undefeated and beat Kansas City and beat everybody and run straight through undefeated. It's like, what the hell?
I'm surprised because he's a hater on Tomlin. He hates Tomlin like
Come on, dude.
nobody
They must have made up.
They just barely beat teams and hanging on here by a thread at the last second at games. Come on now. Ain't nobody going on undefeated. They ain't saw no real offense yet.
So that's how we do it. So we do this every week around this time, every Thursday from 8 o'clock Arizona time. So make sure you tell a friend about what we have going on here at the Neutral Zone, KSRNAZ.com. Again, on behalf of Sean McConnell, on behalf of Casual E, Earl Burnett, I am Javon J. Love Adams, and shout out to our brother Ed,
What up, Ed?
Smith. We will see y'all next week, and as we always like to say, lace them up. Ayukin.
What's up?